You're watching SportsBeat.
Thanks for watching SportsBeat on this Saturday. Jeremiah Jensen and Sam Farnsworth manning the desk today. BYU men's head basketball coach Mark Pope is here in studio. We're golfing with Ute star Britain Covey, and you meet the Jazz 3 draft picks. But we start with NBA free agency, which is off to a crazy start.
The whirlwind is just beginning, right? Free agency is supposed to officially begin on Sunday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, that's a joke, right? Yeah. Teams and players seem to be chomping at the bit, though. They're working behind the scenes already to get deals done.
And they're happening as we speak. The biggest news involves Kemba Walker. According to multiple reports, the Charlotte Hornets All-Star is going to leave Charlotte and sign a 4-year, $141 million max contract with the Boston Celtics. Walker will be in Boston Sunday to finalize the deal. He's replacing this guy. This comes as no surprise.
Yeah, how about this? Multiple reports saying Kyrie Irving has a meeting set up Sunday with the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, we've heard that one for a while. He's going to be offered that same max contract, 4 years, $141 million. Once that deal is done, the Nets, they'll then renounce the rights to All-Star guard D'Angelo Russell, making him an unrestricted free agent. And that is according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
Back to the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell, that's a possibility now. Now to free agent news that impacts the Utah Jazz. Stretch 4 Nikola Mirotic is leaving the NBA to return to the EuroLeague. He's agreed to a contract with Barcelona. According to Mark Stein of the New York Times, the Jazz had interest in Mirotic and were poised to offer a 3-year, $45 million contract, but he's not going to take that. He's heading overseas.
Yeah, and Tony Jones from The Athletic is reporting that the Jazz, they'll be meeting with Washington Wizards restricted free agent Bobby Portis, though, and that'll happen on Sunday in L.A. Several teams interested in this power forward after he averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds the past season, split the season between the Wizards and the Bulls. He also is a big man that can shoot 40% from three-point land.
And that's what the Jazz would like to have. Now, there was thought that in the Denver Nuggets camp that they would cut Paul Millsap loose, that the Jazz could look at bringing him back to Utah. Well, that's not going to happen. The Nuggets have picked up the team option on Paul's contract. He's in the final season of a 3-year deal that will pay him $30 million next season.
Hey, anytime the Nuggets want to throw money out the window, go for it. All right, former Utah Jazz point guard George Hill, he's on the move again. The Milwaukee Bucks, they're going to waive him. He was a key member of the Bucks bench during their run to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bucks will save $18 million by making this move, so sound decision.
Golden State's not saving any money. The Warriors plan to offer Klay Thompson a max contract, 5 years, $190 million, according to Woj. The deal will be completed as soon as Sunday night. Thompson will be rehabbing from an ACL injury and will miss most of next season.
How about Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard? What's he gonna do? Toronto, they're already giving him the entire city pretty much. That still doesn't seem like it's enough. According to several reports, he's been discussing playing with Kevin Durant with the Knicks or Clippers possibly. Kawhi is expected to meet with both those teams as well as the Lakers and Raptors.
Please don't go to the Lakers. That would be just the worst. All right, Kevin Durant will meet with 4 teams, the Brooklyn Nets, LA Clippers, New York Knicks, and the Golden State Warriors, of course. All teams are prepared to offer KD a max contract despite the fact he will miss next season after rupturing his Achilles in the NBA Finals.
He's definitely got the track record during that kind of money. Well, what about Jimmy Butler? Well, he has plans to meet with both the Heat and the Rockets. For either of those teams to land Butler, though, it's likely going to have to be a sign and trade, right? The Sixers, they say that they're possibly willing to work with Butler to make that happen, but also they could just let him walk to free agency as well.
Why would they work with the Rockets on that? That makes no sense. All right, the Salt Lake City Summer League begins on Monday. You can watch all 3 of the Jazz draft picks as they make their debut against the Memphis Grizzlies at 7 p.m.
And so the 3 guys that were officially introduced this week here in Utah, they tell us they love being here already. They're excited to get to work with their new head coach.
Out 2 seconds, Justin Wright Foreman at the buzzer, and Justin Wright Foreman wins it for the Hofstra Pride.
Just getting out here and getting to work kind of really right away was been amazing. The facilities are amazing. The people here have been great to me.
Tony. Oh, count the bucket and one.
It's unreal. It's emotional. It's just a great feeling. Just know that we were wanted somewhere.
Right Foreman with a bounce, an unbelievable shot.
You can tell that this organization really handpicked every one of us because
I think a lot of people, you know, they were surprised that our names got picked. There's a lot of guys that people probably thought it was going to get picked before us.
Have you had much interactions with Coach Snyder, and what have those been like so far?
Every time I see Coach Snyder, he's so energetic to see us, and it means the most, you know. It means the world to us just because we just got here.
You can just tell how much he cares about the players and about the whole organization. I'm just excited to go on this journey, and just to be a part of the Jazz is just an honor and a blessing. I just can't wait to get to work.
This guy's sensational. Number 2 in the nation.
All right, I've got a paper chain back in the Sports Ops. I've been tearing one off every single day. We're down to 61 days now until BYU Utah. Of course, we're counting down. We can't wait for Thursday, August 29th to get here.
It's coming soon. I recently sat down with BYU head coach Kalani Sitake. You can see the interview on SportsBeat Sunday, the entire interview. Here's part of that interview where he addresses his contract situation.
I'm just focused on the players and getting this team ready. I mean, the last thing I don't really care about myself. I can give me a day-to-day contract, doesn't matter. I'm here for these young men and for these fans. My goal is to help them achieve their dreams with these fans and with these players, and that's all I'm focused on. When I got the job, even before, I was looking at the schedule, the type of teams that they're lining up, and I told Tom, keep them coming. You know, I think Pat Hill made the comment, anyone, anytime, anywhere, and I like that, you know, and it's not probably a popular thing for coaches to say, but to say just make my job harder, but I think for anything, that's give my guys opportunities to play these games. When I was a player, I would have loved the schedule. You know, I remember playing Notre Dame in '94. I remember playing Alabama in '98. I remember playing those big-time games. What I got in 4 years of playing, they get in 1 year, you know, so imagine the guys get to play 4 years with those type of schedules, those type of memories. We beat Wisconsin last year. That was a cool memory for a lot of guys, beating Arizona last year, and we just like to have those memories and make them more consistent.
Feel right now in this early stages that this team might have some good insights.
From one BYU coach to another, Mark Pope joins us next in studio. How did he convince Yoli Childs to come back for senior season? And can the Cougars make the NCAA tournament next year? His answer's next. He won a national championship at Kentucky. He played in the NBA. He built a winning program at Utah Valley, and now he's taking on the new challenge as the head coach of the BYU Cougars. Mark Pope, what a wild whirlwind it's been since you got hired. It really wasn't that long. It seems like it, though, because you've been so busy. You've had so much happen. Before we get to a lot of that stuff, what's this been like for you to take over this job and take on this challenge that you're taking on?
Well, you and I have been talking about this for a long time, right? We've kind of been this whole ride together, and so it's been awesome. Like, it is so exhilarating. We're so excited, and it's a monumental challenge, and it's got all the ingredients that could build into something extraordinarily special. So it's not hard. Like, it's not work. You know, you wake up really early every morning and you race to the office, not because you have to, but because it's so exciting, right? To see if we can take a big swing at this and make something happen.
Well, to win, you got to have players, and the best recruiting you've done so far is internal. You got Yoli Childs to come back. You're some kind of wizard. We thought he was gone. How did you pull this off? How did you convince Yoli to come back for senior year?
I've joked about this. You know, the one thing I can do is I can talk a lot, right? And so we talked him into submission is kind of the tagline we use. But the truth is that the greatest thing about this game, I believe this with all my heart, is it exerts so much pressure on you, and there's so much public pressure and personal pressure and internal pressure. And what it does is it lets you find out who you are. You're kind of thrown in this crucible, and you have to figure out who you are, and that was what Yoli did. Yoli's the one that came back. Yoli's the one that took a hard look at it and said, I love BYU. Like, this place is like nowhere else. And Yoli Child's the one that came back and said so eloquently, I'm going to have 15 years to go be a pro. I get 1 year to come take a shot at this and do something special at BYU with these teammates. And so as much as I like to take credit for it and sound like some type of genius recruiter, it's not true. Like, this is Yoli Childs, and he's a really special young man, and he loves this university, and he's got his heart and mindset on accomplishing something extraordinary.
What does he need to do to become an NBA player?
Well, he's going to grow his game. So, you know, I tell you, sometimes it's hard for stars sometimes because Yoli's a 23-12 guy. And so then you're like, well, to be a pro, I got to be 30-17. That's not really the answer. Probably where most rookies would fit into an NBA team is they'll come off the bench, they'll play 15 minutes a game to start. They'll have to be a defensive force with relentless energy that can answer the bell when points are needed, come up with big rebounds, be the ultimate teammate of all time, and have a real passion for the game and juice in the locker room. Like that is the equation to kind of find your way into that league in the beginning, and then give yourself a chance to grow your game into what it could be. And so, he made the statement that he wanted to be the best defensive player in our league, and that's an extraordinarily prescient goal for him, because it's going to make a difference in everything that he does.
You're also bringing a grad transfer that can score, but he's a very familiar face to BYU fans, Jake Toolson. And your stories are tied together from their time at Utah Valley. How excited are you to get Jake into the program?
Man, I'm excited. Like, Jake is, first of all, he's a terrific basketball player. He's going to make me look like a little bit smarter coach. It's just the truth, right? And, but also, we've got to travel this journey together for a long time. And one of the hardest things about making a coaching change or taking a new job is that you don't get to compete with the guys that you've been working with, right? And that's a hard thing. And the fact that I get to continue this relationship with Jake and continue to watch him grow and do extraordinary things, it's a real blessing.
You also have to do some recruiting with the players that are already there. I mean, you have to convince T.J. Haws and Nick Emery that you can make them better, that you can be their coach. Yeah. How's that process going?
Well, you need to ask the players about that, right? That's
right.
The real truth. But I do think that we've had a chance to spend a lot of time together. We've been blessed with being able to spend time on the court working together, in the film room working together. And we're doing all individual skill work, and we're trying to keep it at a pretty even tempo right now. One, because with our foreign tour, it's going to be a long year. Mm-hmm. And two, because I don't want to really crush these guys until it's too late for them to leave. So don't tell them. They're getting the nice guy right now, and it's about to get real pretty soon.
Well, the roster you have currently, do you think you have a team that could make the NCAA tournament next season? It's been a while.
It's going to matter on our insides. Right. It just does. And that's not me trying to put it on the players. It's going to matter on our collective insides, right? I think the pieces are there to make a real run. But this is not an overwhelmingly dominant, talent-laden roster that's just going to walk over everybody we face. This is a team that's going to matter how much fight we have, how much sacrifice for each other we have, how much commitment and belief in playing the game the right way we have. And I have a feel right now in this early stages that this team might have some good insights. They might have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They might be a little bit sideways because people feel like they haven't met expectations and feel like they're not what they could have been. And I love those ingredients. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to work with them and see what we can do together.
One of the biggest challenges you face as a head coach is Gonzaga. How do you chip away at what they've built and where they're at and try to take them down as a champ in this league?
There's 353 now, 353 Division I teams, and 352 of us are all asking the same question. How do you beat the Zags?
Yeah.
And they're so good. And the thing is, with this coach, Mark Few, like, you just want to hate him, except he's the nicest human being in the world. In fact, my wife, I think it might be her favorite coach. Like, he's been so kind to us and so generous to us over the past decade. And what he's accomplished there is extraordinary. So that's a mystery we have to unlock. I mean, that's our job. Like, we got to go win the league. And to win our league, you have to beat the best team in America. And you have to do it relatively consistently. And why would you want to be anywhere else, right? That's what you want as an athlete. You want that challenge.
And to make the NCAA tournament, to beat Gonzaga, you have to take on challenges. Non-conference scheduling is going to be one of those challenges. And you were bold at Utah Valley. Are we going to see a fastest 24 at BYU? How big are you going to go with your non-conference scheduling?
Well, it's I would like to make it really fun. The one thing that we may have an outside chance at is getting some teams to come to our gym. Now, it might be really expensive to do in terms of, playing on the road a lot just to get one game at home. But I'd like to do that. I think, listen, those games are scary because of your record, right? They're really scary because of my record, right? Because I'm the one that's going to get crushed. But those games are fun. I know that BYU fans will love games like that. I know our players will love games like that. Sometimes it's a little bit scary about managing. You know, sometimes you can put your team in too tough a run of tough games, but I think it's the best part of college basketball, and so we're certainly going to take our fair share of big swings.
Kentucky Merit Center sounds kind of fun. You have some
Do
connections
you
there.
imagine? So we're working on some games like that. It's not going great right now.
Yeah.
I've hired several private detectives to see what kind of dirt we can dig up on coaches around the country, and we'll see if we can use that to our advantage.
Give Coach Cal a call over there. He'll hook you up. Mark, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Best of luck. We'll see you again in the fall, and it's time to go to work, I guess, right?
That's right. Thanks, Jeremiah.
All right.
Great interview, Jeremiah. All right, Utah football's Britain Covey joins Tom Hackett on the golf course. Hear that conversation between the two. That's coming up next on the Hallowed Ground.
Expectations have never been higher for the Utah football program. They have the talent to win a Pac-12 title and go to the Rose Bowl. If they do, Britain Covey will play an important role in that.
Can't wait for that, but expectations have also never been higher for Tom Hackett, right, on the golf course. Maybe not. How would he handle Britain on the links, though? Let's find out here on this episode of the Hallowed Grounds.
As always, the ride through in my Nate Wade Subaru. Special guest this week, the battering ram himself, Britain Covey, is going to join me. We're going to go one-on-one. Now, look, he's still a student athlete, so these prizes are not available. I repeat, these are not available, but special shout out to our sponsors, Bushnell, for allowing us to normally give this away. And of course, you win to golf with a $100 gift card, which Britain Covey will not be getting this week. So Britain, welcome to Willow Creek.
Not because I won't win, of course.
This is the par 5 10th. Say no more, let's play some golf. And I swear, it looks like you outdrove me, and you're 5'6". Hey, by the way,
5'11". Okay,
is your girlfriend taller than you?
Hey, come on, that's private.
Sorry. You were telling me prior to the cameras rolling how you're going to golf.
For 7th and 8th grade, I wasn't able to play contact sports. I thought that was going to be the rest of my life, and so my dad got a membership at Riverside.
Which is just down the road from where
just
you
down
live.
the road.
Have you ever played with Coach Witt?
No, I haven't. I played with his brother.
Coach, you've been working out a bit too much.
Back up. Oh, jeez.
Coach Witt sucks. Seriously, sucked at golf.
Fetch.
Fetch? What does that mean?
I don't know. It's like my version of a different word you probably could say. Sometimes in life, you just gotta accept that you're not that good at golf.
Nice shot. That's a nice roll, Britain. So, if those prizes were available, they're not. But if they were, you would have a chance to play for the Bushnell. Okay, so back to the knee. When are you expecting to join full team activities?
So for now, I am doing all straight line running with the team.
But no
conditioning.
cuts.
I'm doing cuts on my own, just not the agility stations that they do. Remember every Thursday?
Yes, I do remember that.
So, but I've started to run routes with the receivers, and that's what makes me just feel confident that I can get back.
Right.
Because before that, it was just the closer it got.
So we're thinking full camp.
Yeah, by fall camp, I'd say I'd be one day on, one day off.
So by BYU, you'll be good.
Yeah, I better be good by then.
Good. Interview's over now, that's all we need.
All right, what are you using, Tom?
An 8-iron.
Okay, I think I'll go with a 9.
That's just really offensive. I knew the second I said that he would say that. Oh, that's low
Nice.
and fat. Shot, you're right on it. As stated earlier in the program, he's not eligible to win any prizes. I'm sorry. I guess you're going into your junior year, so you've got 2020 is your senior year. So in December or January of 2021, come find me and I'll hand you a little gift card of somewhere and we'll get after it. But Britain,
So did you win?
well, I won on this one because you hit the first one in the water.
Okay, well, I don't know. You might 3-putt for all I know.
Well, I guess the cameras won't have time to figure that out, will they? See you guys next time.
See ya.
So somehow, while we were doing this show, no free agency news broke.
Not yet.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked.
Well, tomorrow will be fun. See what else comes up. Maybe there'll be some stuff at 10. We'll show you tonight.